Okay, it turns out the previous live stream is failed again, which is it's okay because it's definitely not as long as the previous failed live stream, which basically more annoying, which I just don't understand why. So yeah, basically the stream key is actually the same, still the same, but for some reason I just need to basically open the live stream dashboard every time that I basically wanted to stream. So if I didn't open the live stream, so the OBS won't detect that the stream key is basically invalid or not. So that's the reason why I just don't know whether it is actually streamed into out of nowhere or it's actually still stream into my channel, but I just cannot see the live replay. So that's the reason why, which is basically never be seen again, even for myself, because yeah, for some reason the streaming is obviously not recorded into the local storage, even though yeah, it's basically not supposed to be that big if I try to see or to record at the same time. But yeah, I just don't want to waste more storage, because yeah, if you talk about the recording, I basically have more appropriate content that basically I can use for the recording, which is from my good behavior content and also the karaoke content, which basically has some limitation if I try to do it on the stream, because yeah, just like every time that I try to talk about the YouTube is basically have a very sensitive copyright content. So yeah, that's the reason why I just don't want to see that on a single channel. So instead of creating another channel, maybe I will try to do it on another platform instead. So yeah, that's the reason why, and I'm not sure, this is actually already the fifth time that I basically do the live stream in the same day, even though if you talk about the total length that basically successfully stream is basically still not bigger than the longest stream that I used to done in the past. So that's not really necessary. So it's just full of short live stream. And basically I just don't know, maybe when I try to do the live stream as when I'm basically in the mobile and didn't have the access to my main account, maybe I will able to do that with the second account that's basically already invited as an editor. So hopefully it will definitely work, because yeah, it's pretty annoying if it's not work and I have to open the main account for my mobile devices first, which is gonna be slowing my mobile phone perhaps, I'm not sure, because I just don't get it. The live stream dashboard, it seems to be pretty heavy, especially when you didn't have a sufficient internet connection. It's just making the dashboard even heavier than when you got a fast internet connection. So that's the reason why when I first wanted to do the live stream on YouTube, when I still didn't have a sufficient internet connection, it's just like keep loading all the time, so I cannot see a thing or even start the stream at all. So that's the reason why right now I'm having a stock live stream draft that I just don't understand why I cannot reuse those draft into with the new live stream, or maybe seeing open it as the same stream key. So yeah, that's the reason why. And basically I already tried to do a network call as well previously, so I basically able to do a live stream until I finally got interrupted. But I'm not sure whether I will try to do it with those kind of lang, because to be honest, I wanted to do some karaoke as well, or maybe some another good behavior, even though it will definitely waste some of my storage, because yeah, just like when I don't know whether the previous stream is basically succeed not the one that basically succeed. But yeah, 10 minutes of the recording of this 1080p footage OBS studio settings is basically needs almost 200 of megabyte of storage, so that's basically a lot, especially when I basically do a karaoke. At some point I feel a little bit addicted to do it over and over again until maybe more than 10 songs that I try to sing, so it's definitely more than 1 gigabyte for 1080p 1080p footage, and it will basically not really necessary if it basically turned into a portrait orientation that I try to upload on the TikTok. So I think I will need to reduce the quality of the OBS recording, and even if it is affected on the live stream as well. And tomorrow when I finally do another live stream from this stream gadget before I basically going into the trip, which hopefully I can have some free time for do some short live stream just to have some additional content to my YouTube channel, because for some reason I didn't have any content that I basically can create it, because for some reason I'm just too lazy when the storage seems to be not sufficient to process the 720p gaming footage, which take more than 40 minutes, so the caching is really wasting the storage devices. So I definitely need to clean up my MacBook Air storage devices before proceed all of the remaining gaming footage, which basically the remaining is basically more than 40 minutes. I think it's still almost more than 10 games footage, which is basically pretty long, but I already tried to prepare all of the Animoji, which is just pretty crazy how many things that I basically already tried to talk about. Even if you talk about, I was actually starting this Animoji for around middle of last year, so basically from those time I actually already create more than 200 of videos, even though I'm not sure how many duration that I basically already tried to upload, but most likely it's definitely more than 24 hours, I guess. So basically in order to watch everything that I basically already tried to talk, is need to be more than a day, which is pretty crazy. But yeah, I basically need more than half of a year as well to prepare it. But yeah, it seems to be a very short time to prepare something, because at some point most of the times that you have been through in your life, it's basically full of useless things that never seems to be utilized effectively. So that's the reason why at some point I just don't want to be unproductive all the time, but at some point I also just need to take a break, because yeah, that's the reason why I prefer to do this kind of productivity rather than on my own, I don't know, topic or specialties, because yeah, I was basically work as a programmer. So but yeah, I just don't want to do too much personal productivity from product programmer point of view, because I used to create several kind of apps, but I never really realize or take it too seriously, because yeah, it's just too hard, or maybe I'm just lack of motivation to continue about it, because I just prefer to do this kind of thing. Or maybe I will try to combine or integrate my content creation into my application, which is hopefully, I just don't know when, because I definitely need more storage in my MacBook perhaps, because I don't know, my MacBook Pro is actually sufficient to develop several applications, but for some reason it's just keep decreasing all the time for the caching of the library, or I don't know. So that's the reason why I just don't want to waste the storage of those devices, especially when it is actually going to be my next main laptop perhaps for daily use, even though yeah, it was actually have smaller storage devices than my current daily MacBook Air. So that's the reason why I definitely will not save so many personal content on those devices, so it's only for productivity purposes, just like when I only try to use it for live stream into the YouTube. But yeah, it's basically pretty unnecessary if you talk about how many resource that basically processing resources that basically can be utilized to do other productivity rather than just live stream. Even though I'm just not sure why, but these different gadgets obviously have more processing power than my MacBook Pro. But yeah, that's the reason why the Animoji seems to be more smoother as well. So I just don't know whether this actually the one that cause the video to be able to be processed at 1080p, or it is actually because of the OBS settings that basically make it more smooth. I just don't understand, because yeah, it should be not really processing oriented if you talk about the OBS Studio, even though yeah, OBS Studio is still definitely lighter than any kind of other streaming applications such as the Twitch Studio, which is definitely heavier, especially heavy from the internet bandwidth perspective. So that's the reason why, and basically I already pretty convenient to use OBS Studio even on my old MacBook Air. So that's the reason why. And it's already 12 minutes, and I don't know whether I will try to continue or not, because yeah, basically I don't have many things to talk about, especially when already try to focus on something. So the things that I basically try to talk about is just the one that suddenly appear on my mind. So I think I will try to stop this live stream and see. I think it's obviously able to successfully stream into the live replay of my channel, but yeah, I just don't understand why. So yeah, I think I will try to end the stream and try to record another good behavior and karaoke instead, because the free time that I got on these days definitely decrease all the time. So I think I will try to waste it on another content instead of just live stream of this unnecessary talk of monologue without any purposes that I just don't know what kind of title that is basically most appropriate to represent the things that I basically talk in the video. So yeah, that's